All right, thanks for making it to Veterans Info Tap. I'm glad you made it. Today I wanted to talk to you about VR&E and putting additional money in your pocket from this very specific veterans benefit that many disabled veterans qualify for. Now, I want to jump into it first with the dollars and cents because I think that this is important. Then we'll dive into the kind of how it works aspect. Now, with regard to the money piece of VR&E, it is called a subsistence allowance. And that subsistence allowance is simply paid to you, okay? It is not utilized for tuition or anything like that. Tuition would be covered by the program, and then you would, in addition, receive the subsistence allowance. Now, right now, let me see here. I want to find the exact amount for you. All right. The exact amount is, it can be as high as $3,251.38 while you are enrolled in VR&E. And actually, it goes, I believe, a couple months after that while you're looking for work. Now, it is a special carve-out for that amount. So you can receive, again, up to $3,251.38 tax-free money in your pocket while you're in this program with this VA benefit. Now, how do you get that amount? You can get that amount if, big if, you have any amount of post 9/11 GI Bill remaining. So maybe you gave some of your post 9/11 GI Bill to a dependent. Or maybe you started utilizing the post 9/11 GI Bill at, college of the whatevers, and you dropped down of it because you had life happening and you had to, do something else. And so you still have some remaining. So if you have any amount, doesn't matter if it's a day's worth, a month's worth, 3 years worth, doesn't matter. If you have any post 9/11 GI Bill remaining, the VR&E program, Veterans Readiness and Employment Program, will mirror that amount that you would receive as a housing allowance utilizing the post 9/11. You would receive that same amount, same calculation, but there is a cap of $3,251.38, which honestly, there's not very many places out there, but there are, right? Like San Francisco would be higher than that, but you would be capped at $3,251. So let's talk about what happens if you don't have any post 9/11 GI Bill. You never received it, or you were out during the Montgomery GI Bill or whatever, and you just never had that option, or you utilized it all, or you gave it all away. Well, now you have none, right? Zero. So if you have zero post 9/11 GI Bill, I'm going to rattle off some numbers just for a traditional institution, higher education place, right? So if you're full time with no dependents, you would receive $768.42. Now, this is the fiscal year of 2023, which is October 1st, 2023, through the end of September 2024. October of 2024, it's going to be adjusted upward. So, just if people are watching this later. So right now, no dependent, $768.42. If you have one dependent, it's $953.15. If you have two dependents, it's $1,123.23, all tax-free per month in your pocket if you're going full-time. Now, let's jump into the eligibility requirements on this, and I'm going to throw this out there before we get started on that. What you're looking at here is Veterans Readiness and Employment. The VA loves to look at this as an employment program, not an educational program, although education and training are often tied to you being successful in the program. So, but you need to look at it through that lens of this as an employment program. Their job, the workers there, the counselors, is to get you from here, job-wise, low, maybe I jump around a lot, I don't have a job currently, I'm having a problem maintaining a job, to I have gainful employment in a different wheelhouse that I've now been trained for or whatever. Now, this could be anything from they have to put you through to get your bachelor's, or put you through to get your master's, or put you into some sort of specialized, condensed, very focused training Could be IT stuff, cybersecurity, or the example I like to use to throw it out there, which is the Automotive Dealership Institute. And what they do is they train you to be a finance manager for automotive dealerships. So or motorcycles or RVs or tractors, right? Whatever has that type of shorter term financing, they train you on all their systems, how to kind of navigate that. And it's a month-long program, hyper-focused on that specific skill set. Then they help you find the job. So it could be anything like that. It doesn't matter what you need to do. It's what's going to be the best for you. If a 4-year college is the right move for you to get you the degree you need to get you the job that you can be successful in, then that's what it takes, right? So moving on into the eligibility aspect, again, look at this through the lens of employment. You don't want to go into a counselor and say, yeah, I want to go get my degree, or I want to go to the Automotive Dealership Institute. You kind of need to walk them down that path from a job perspective, right? So, I'd love to do, my passion, I love cars, I love motorcycles, that type of stuff. I'm good with numbers, I like people. So I'd love to do a job, somewhere around that. Now, I'm not mechanical. I can't really, fix them. Well, what about a finance manager? Oh, great idea. I love that. Right. So you kind of have to back into it in a weird way. So anyway, let's jump into eligibility. I'm going to just read directly here from the VA's website and just jump right into the eligibility piece. So if you're a veteran, are you eligible? You are eligible to apply for, now there's two things. One is eligible to apply, and then you actually have to qualify and get admitted into the program. It's kind of a two-step process. You're eligible to apply for VR&E benefits and services if you meet both of these requirements. Remember, this is just to apply. You did not receive a dishonorable discharge, and you have a service-connected disability rating of at least 10%. So that's why I'm saying many veterans out there have a 10% or higher rating. So those are the two things that you must have in order to just apply. So now let's move on. When we receive your VR&E application, we'll schedule your initial evaluation with a vocational rehabilitation counselor. The counselor will determine if you're entitled to receive VR&E benefits and services. Now again, this is an employment program. They're going to have you do a few aptitude tests, kind of a likes and dislikes, kind of, I don't know what you want to call it, Quizlet. And so they're going to gather information on you about what you're kind of good at and what kind of things you like to do. And then they're going to merge those things together and kind of come up with a game plan of what would be a good, suitable job for you. Get you into something that you would actually like to do, in an environment you might like, with a skill that you actually have. You may love golf, for example, but you might hit, 105 for 18 holes. So your skill's not quite there to have you go be a golf pro, right? So let's move on. If you were discharged from active duty, there's a expiration date to utilize this benefit for some individuals. If you were discharged from active duty before January 1st, 2013, your basic period of eligibility ends 12 years from one of these dates, whichever comes later. The date you received notice of your date of separation from active duty, or the date you received your first VA service-connected disability rating. For the overwhelming majority, it's going to be that second piece. So 12 years from your first service-connected disability rating. If you're not quite exactly sure, apply anyway and see if the VA figures it out for you. Or you can call the VA and ask them. So the basic period of eligibility may be extended if a VRC finds that you have a serious employment handicap. So if you have a serious employment handicap, but you're over that 12 years time frame from your first service-connected disability rating, if you discharged prior to January 1st, 2013, that serious employment handicap means your service-connected disability significantly limits your ability to prepare for, obtain, and maintain suitable employment. They may extend that 12-year period for you. If you were discharged from active duty after on or after January 1st, 2013, then the 12-year basic period of eligibility does not apply to you. There's no time limit on your eligibility. You can seek VR&E services whenever you'd like. Now, if you're still on active duty and you're watching this, if you're still on active duty, are you eligible for Veterans Readiness and Employment? You may be eligible for VR&E benefits and services if you're a service member and you meet at least one of these requirements. You have a 20% or higher pre-discharge disability rating, memorandum rating, and will soon leave the military. Or you're waiting to be discharged because of a severe illness or injury that occurred while you were on active duty. Now, moving on, let's see. I think that's pretty good. Well, let's just touch real quick on the services that you can receive. So beyond, I'm getting the skill set I need for a job I can maintain and hold, right? Whether, again, it's something like the Automotive Dealership Institute or you're going to, some school to get your master's, right? Whatever you're doing, you're getting that. You're getting money per month from a subsistence allowance, either mirroring your post 9/11 GI Bill benefit if you have any remaining, or the other set amounts. In addition, let's just read through this. It says, depending on your needs and goals, services may include a complete evaluation to determine your abilities, skills, and interests for employment, professional and vocational counseling and rehabilitation planning for employment services such as job training, resume development, and other work readiness support, help finding and keeping a job, including the use of special employer incentives and job accommodations, on-the-job training, apprenticeships, and non-paid work experiences, post-secondary education and training at college, vocational, technical, or business schools, supportive rehabilitation services including case management, counseling, and medical referrals, independent living services to help you live as independently as possible. So here's the little disclaimer about the post 9/11 GI Bill. It says, if I'm eligible for GI Bill benefits, can I get paid the post 9/11 GI Bill subsistence rate for my VR&E program? If you're participating in a VR&E program, you can choose to get paid the GI Bill subsistence rate instead of the Chapter 31 subsistence allowance rate. If you meet both of these requirements, you have at least 1 day of entitlement remaining under the post 9/11 GI Bill, and you're within your GI Bill eligibility period. Note, in most cases, the GI Bill rate is higher than the regular subsistence rate. You'll need to officially choose the GI Bill subsistence rate. Your counselor can help you with that. Now, I wanted to also throw out, there's 5 tracks. Most people are focused on the I need more education or training to get the better job track, but I'm just going to give you the high level, just kind of the titles of the 5 different tracks. All right, so the 5 tracks for VR&E, Veterans Readiness and Employment, and I'll give you the tiny little blurb here. So support and services tracks. Reemployment track. If you're a veteran with service-connected disability, the reemployment track can help you return to your former job and support your employer in meeting your needs. So that's number 1. Number 2 is rapid access to employment track. If you want to find a job or career that uses your existing skill set, the rapid access to employment track can help you with your job search. Self-employment track. If you're a service member or a veteran with a service-connected disability and employment barrier, the self-employment track can help you start your own business. Employment through long-term services track. If you have a service-connected disability and employment barrier, we can help you get the education or training you need to find work in a different field. Independent living track. If you can't return to work right away, you may qualify for services that can help you live as independently as possible. Those are the 5 tracks. One of the most common would be the employment through long-term services track, which is really what I was hitting on this video if you've hung to the end. It, again, is focused on if you have a service-connected disability and employment barrier, we can help you get the education or training you need to find work in a different field. So in the conversation with your counselor, it really needs to be about my service-connected conditions are really inhibiting my ability to hold, maintain, have a job in the field in which I know, right? I need to be retrained. I need education, training in order to get me into a new career field so I can be successful, right? That's kind of the messaging that you want to have in there. So with that, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you. Have a great one. And remember, if we don't take care of each other, something went wrong.